Hi everyone, good day. Thanks for joining Megaport Live Tech Drop today. And I'll be doing the sharing today. So for today Tech Drop sessions, I'll be sharing about multi-cloud scenario with diversity. And then I'll be doing some simple demo based on the scenario that I talk about. So here's a little bit about me. Serena To, I'm the pre-sale solution architect at Megaport, and I'm based in Singapore. This is my email and my LinkedIn, so feel free to reach out to me. Yeah. So this is Megaport global private backbone that shows Megaport point of presence around the world. So we are in 930 data centers and in 26 countries and 165 cities. So today we are also interconnected with many major hyperscaler like AWS, Azure, GCP, Oracle, Cloud, and also IBM as well. And we believe that connectivity should be easy. So with just a few clicks using our self-help portal, you can create a private global network on demand as fast as 60 seconds. So the red dots on the diagram shows Megaport point of presence, which is the data center around the world. Yeah. So this is just a logical representation of the network and doesn't actually reflect the actual network path. This is Megaport global network ecosystem. So as you can see, if you're connected to us, you can connect to this 990 30 data center around the world globally and to more than 360 cloud on-ramp. We also have network operators, service providers, which offer high-speed connectivity solutions that you can leverage on. We have platforms and infrastructure provider, example like GPS service, bare metal, that also can consume their services through our platform as well. We also have our own internet exchange, which allow customers to have direct peering to providers to reduce data transfer latency. And today, we also have a diverse range of enterprises using our network itself to interconnect their businesses infrastructure. So this is a Megaport global network ecosystem. So how is Megaport compared to other connectivity options like traditional providers on the right? So for pricing, as you can see, pay for what you provisions and there's no setup fee. As compared to the traditional providers, there's expensive setup and also a lock-in price. For speed and capacity, since you can scale that capacity up and down on demand, you don't have to worry about traffic spike or any wasted capacity. And the best part of it is that you are able to do real-time provisioning on our portal in 60 seconds. So our terms are very flexible, okay? So we have like month to month and all the way to 36 months, okay? So there's no lock-in if you choose not to. And the best part of it is that you're able to scale the terms, able to scale the elastic bandwidth during the terms itself. And through our ecosystem, you're able to connect to all the major hyperscaler, which I mentioned, the data center operator, the service provider around the globe that today we are already interconnected to. And lastly, is secure. So your data travel on our private global network, actually bypassing the internet as well. So you have like predictable performance, consistent latency. So these are some of the very common model services that customer can consume through our platforms. So within our ecosystem itself, we commonly see customer using us for like data center to cloud, from cloud to cloud, data center to cloud, data center to data center, virtual edge, etc. So what is data center to cloud? So it's basically like connecting on-prem data center to the CSP. Like maybe, for example, Azure to Express Route, so for cloud to cloud, it's basically creating on demand private connectivity between two cloud instances. okay? So without backhauling the traffic back to the data center. So you also see customer using us for data center to data center, which is a data center interconnect. So it's basically like connecting your business data center in different region and stitching them together using Megaport backbone. So for example, data center in US, want to connect to a data center in Singapore, you can do that via Megaport backbone. And we see that many customers are also virtualizing their network POPs with our Megaport Virtual Edge. And Megaport basically offer you the compute for you to deploy your virtual network appliance from vendor like Cisco, Fortinet, Palo Alto, okay? And the model is all bring your own licensing, okay? And lastly, internet exchange for direct peering. And all the service can be done within 60 seconds with just a few clicks on our portal. Okay, so this is a high overview of our Megaport services. Okay, so as you can see on the top layer over here, so we have three access product, which is support, which is a physical NNI. Okay, we have like different bandwidth from 1 gig to 100 gig interface. We also have a Megaport cloud router, which range from 1 gig and to 100 gig itself. Okay, so this is a recent launch that we have 100 gig in some of our places. So do let us know that if you require any 100 gig in any of the locations. So for our Megaport virtual edge itself, we have two virtual CPU all the way to 12 virtual CPU. So as you can see that our connectivities to the ecosystem, okay, is all via this layer 2 virtual cross connect. Okay, so you just had to deploy a layer 2 cross connect, you know, from either one of the access and to the different ecosystem, which is the cloud providers, which I mentioned, AWS, IBM, etc., and to the marketplace, our marketplace ecosystem, and to our Megaport Internet Exchange, and also internet services, and also to the port itself, the physical NNI, to a cloud router, to a MV, etc. Okay, so by using Megaport, okay, customers have the ability to connect to any destinations, including the cloud on-ramped between data center as well as a Megaport ecosystem in Megaport network across the globe on demand. Okay, so this is how you can actually do the connections to access to our backbone. So therefore, using one platform enable you to scale and deploy capacity on demand basis. So I'll go through some of the multi-cloud use case scenario with diversity. So just to share that Megaport has this port diversity. So when you build your NNI with us, okay, which is a physical port with us, you can build port diversity by placing the port in a different color zone, such as a red and a blue zone, okay, which we define. So this will allow the port to be provisioned in different physical devices at a single Megaport locations. Okay, this is important because with port diversity, it can really reduce the risk of the service interruptions due to maintenance or some incident. Okay, and also during scheduled maintenance, no more than one diversity zone at a given data center location will experience downtime at any moment. So as you can see over here, this port itself is being spin out in a red color zone. Okay, so if you want a port diversity, you will spin up another port in another zone, which is a blue. So Megaport also have a MCR diversity, which is a Megaport Cloud Router diversity. So when you build your MCR itself, you can actually build the MCR diversity by placing it in different physical data center, such as a zone, such as a red and a blue zone. So this will allow the MCR to be provisioned in different physical devices at a single Megaport locations. This is again important because with MCR diversity, there's built-in redundancy and also eliminate point of failure. So it also help to reduce the risk of service interruption due to maintenance or incident. And also during scheduled maintenance, no more than one diversity zone at a given data center location will experience downtime at any moment. Okay, so this is just to show you, how is it look like when you're going to choose a diversity zone in an MCR. Okay, they will allow you to select whether is it a auto, red and a blue as well. Okay. Likewise, same for MVE, which is a Megaport Virtual Edge diversity. So when you build a MVE, you can build MVE diversity by placing it in a different physical data center zone, such as the red and the blue zone again. So this will allow MVE to be provisioned in a different physical devices at a single Megaport location. So as mentioned, with built-in redundancy, eliminate point of failure, and also during the scheduled maintenance, no more than one diversity zone at a given data center will experience downtime. So it looks almost the same as an MCR. So you're able to choose this during your deployment in the services, which I'll be showing during the demo. So what are some ways to connect to the multi-cloud? Okay, so as you can see here, this is a multi-cloud using Megaport enabled data center. So this is basically connecting multi-cloud using a physical NNI at the data center. So as you can see from the first diagram, okay, this is how you can connect to Megaport using a port itself, okay, and have layer 2 connections to the various cloud, okay, as shown. So you can do BGP between your on-prem router to the cloud edge, okay. So if you need resiliency and diversity, you can look at the second diagram. You can spin up two physical port itself, okay, with diversity in the same data center, okay, which is a red and a blue zone, and then connect to the various cloud, okay. So in this case, if one of the port is down, okay, another port can still function, okay. So this gives you resiliency and diversity. You can also connect to multi-cloud using a layer 3 cloud router, which is Megaport cloud router in our network. Okay, it is easy to deploy a cloud router in our network to connect to the cloud. This doesn't require you to have any physical data center footprint. So in the first diagram, it shows you how you can connect to Megaport using a cloud router, okay, and have a layer 2 connections from the cloud router to the cloud itself. So as you can see, there's MCR connecting to AWS and Google Cloud. And then you can do a BGP between the cloud router to the cloud edge, okay, with the first diagram. So if you need resiliency and diversity, you can spin up two cloud router with diversity zone in the same or different data center, which is the red zone and the blue zone as per in the diagram, and connect to the various cloud, okay? So in this case, if one of the cloud router is down, another cloud router is not affected, okay? So you still have redundancy. And lastly, the third diagram shows you how you can connect the cloud router back to the data center through the NNI that you have with us, together with diversity as well. So you can see we have red and the blue zone, and then we have two ports, in the same data center, or having like red zone and the blue zone, okay? So this is how you can leverage using multi-cloud using a cloud router. And you also can leverage on Megaport Virtual Edge to do connections to the cloud, okay, by hosting your SD-WAN routers or firewall on the MVE itself, okay. You can have full control over the MVE to do the cloud-to-cloud connections. As you can see from the first diagram, what you have to do is to deploy a MV at a region nearer to the branch users as shown. So the branch user can access to the cloud via the MV through the internet. Okay, on the second diagram is that if you need resiliency and also reduce the point of failure, you can create another MVE with diversity zone as well, red and blue, at the same or different data center. So with diversity and at the same or different data center, okay, this is through the single underlay as well, okay. So this will cover you in terms of redundancy. Should one of the MV is down, you still have another path. So this is trying to tell you on having the same idea but with dual underlay. Okay, so instead of leveraging internet, you can actually leverage on the port. Okay, so this is the same. You will also host your SD-WAN router firewall on the MVE. And then you have the full control over the MV to do the cloud-to-cloud configurations. So on the first diagram, you can see that the branch user can access to the MVE to the cloud, okay, via the internet. And you also can have a physical port itself being connected to the MVE for your branch officers to get connected through the data center. So if you need resilience and also reduce point of failure, you can deploy a MV with diversity at the same or different data center as per the second diagram. So this will be able to cover, you know, through this dual underlay, which is via the internet, also through the NNI itself. And lastly, this is how you also can leverage on the cloud router to connect to the cloud while using the MVE as a gateway for the branch officers to get connected to the Megaport network. And also, if you need resilience, redundancy, you can deploy a dual MCR as in the diagram, a dual MVE, and a dual port for maximum resiliency. Okay. Okay, so now it's time for live demo. And so for today's demo, I'll be just showing you how to deploy multi-cloud using a port and a Megaport cloud router. So as you can see here, this is Megaport dashboard. Okay, so once you go onto dashboard, this will be our main landing page. Okay, it show you Megaport globe. All these dots show you the data center that we are located in the region. Okay, you can just click on, expand up, and take a look. You're able to deploy the services over here. Okay, using the click. Okay, for example, you are able to deploy over here as well to create a port. This will show you the bird eye view of the services that you will be showing the portal. Like total, they have like 42 ports in your dashboard. Okay, head over to services. Okay, when you want to do the actual deployment. Okay, so as you can see here, these are the three different services that I spoke about. Okay, one is to create a physical NNI, a Megaport cloud router, as well as a virtual edge. Okay, so I'll be showing you how to create a port, okay, a physical NNI at the data center. So these are all the locations that you can meet us there. So for example, maybe we look at, let's say, Singapore data center. Okay, these are the Singapore data center. Maybe you see Hong Kong as well. Hong Kong data center. Okay, so let me just go back to Singapore again. Let's say I want to create a port in maybe SG1. Okay, I will just go on next. So these are the port speed that I talk about. We have in 1 gig, 10 gig, and 100 gig. So for example, let's say I want to spin out 10 gig port, and then I will have the port name. I'll just say drop SG1. As I mentioned, we have this minimum term. Okay, we have like month to month all the way 36 months. So there'll be more cost saving if you're going to use 36 months as compared to a per month to month basis. Another one interesting thing is that we just launched this Cross Connect. So you're able to order Cross Connect through our portal itself. Everything is automated. It used to be manual. You had to tell the account managers that, you know, you're interested to have us placing Cross Connect. But today you can do it on our portal. Okay. And then just now, which I talked about the port diversity, the option is over here. You can create a port diversity on the first deployment. If not, you can create on the second deployment, you know, when you have second port. So what I'm going to show you is that you can create a diverse pair from here. That means you have 2 ports, you know, for diversity. So I'll just put a name. I'll say SG2. So I have a SG1 and SG2, okay? I'll leave it and then I'll say next. So as you can see, it's all in a different color zone. So we have the red and the blue. So once you go through, you think it's okay, you add a port and then you will say order now, review order and order now. So what will happen at the back end is that you will try to deploy the service, okay? So it will take a while for it to turn from deployable to configure. Once it has been turned into configure, meaning that the LOA, which is the letter of authorizations, is ready. So you can pass the letter of authorizations to the data center operator for them to do the patching, okay? To meet us, from our demarcation to a rack, okay? So as you can see, just now I deploy 2 port with different diversity, one in the blue and one in the red, okay? Over here. So before we wait for this to happen, which take a while, let me quickly show you how you can deploy a Megaport cloud router if you wanted to use a cloud router to connect to your multi-cloud. So we start off with create a multi-cloud router. Same thing, you need to decide on the locations that you want to spin out your cloud router. So I'll do it in Hong Kong. So for Hong Kong, as you can see, the diversity zone we have in auto, red and blue. So let's say you are particular on certain color zone, you can choose red and then it will show you, okay, whether for red, which are the data center can spin up the red on the blue, okay? So if it doesn't have, I'll just pick the auto and I'll just say maybe Mega I, I'll say next. So this is again the rate limit itself, okay? So we have 1 gig to 10 gig for this region. So if you require 100 gig, do let us know in the region that you're interested in. So for today demo, I'll put in a 1 gig. So for the MCR, I'll just put a name. I'll say tech drop. SG. Okay, so same, we have a month-to-month and a 36-month. I think for Megaport Cloud Router is very useful, especially for migration projects. We see customers having migration project from one cloud to another cloud. It's easy to set up and then you can just tear down, terminate, whenever you think that your migration has completed, okay? So we also have a MCR ASN for you to use. If you have your own ASN, you can just choose it over here. I'll just say next over here. So look out for here, everything is okay. You just add the MCR. And then I'll say review order. And I'll say order now. Okay. This will again take a few minutes, okay, for it to deploy. So once this service has been deployed, you will see the icon turn to green. Okay, a green icon means that the service is up. Okay, so this stack drop, this 2 port has been up already. Up as in is configure. Okay, the service is not up yet because you haven't do the NNI. So I'll just show you how does it look like on the LOA. So I'll just click on the download LOA. Okay, so for example, this is the LOA. And this SG1, it will show you Megaport, demarcation, okay? So just hand over this to the operator itself for them to do an NI. So likewise, the same for SG1 and SG2. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is that once you have the physical port, okay, being patched, for example, and you wanted to connect your cloud, multi-cloud to the physical NNI, you just click on connections, okay, on the port itself. And you go to cloud. Just to show you, these are all the providers that today, the cloud provider that we are already interconnected to. So for example, let's say you want to connect to AWS, okay? You can just choose it over here and then put a name, I'll say AWS. Choose the rate limit, 50, for example, and also the terms, okay? No minimum terms. I'll set to default. Remember to get your AWS account ID ready. Okay, you can leave the rest as being triggered as well. I'll say add VXC, and then I'll review the order. Okay, and order now. Okay, so what will happen in the background is that once the port has been patched, okay, the service will go live. Your AWS will definitely go live as well, okay? So this is how you can create connections from the physical port, okay? So I'll just do another setup just to show you how you can create the AWS connections from the cloud router itself. You just hold on to, under the MCI, go to connections. Again, the same thing, go to cloud, and then I'll just look for AWS. Okay, and then I will say Mustaviv again. I'll choose the cloud on RAM. I'll just put a name, and then I'll just say 50 meg again. I'll choose the term and I'll hit next. Okay, so for MCR, as you can see here, the configurations will be generated automatically. So I just hit next. I still have the account ready. Okay, and then I'll leave the rest to default and I'll say add VXC, and then I will say review order and order now. Okay. So this is how fast you can leverage on Megaport to do the real-time deployment on the go. Okay. I think in view of time, I will end my demo. This is like 30-minute session already. So so if you have any question, do leave at LinkedIn or connect to us, or you can drop me an email. Okay, so with that, thank you so much for being here today, and I wish you guys a good Friday. Thank you.